Hey YouTube, another DIY video on my 2003 GX470. It has about 180,000 miles and it's been very reliable, but now the rear suspension has been very bouncy. Turns out the air spring is leaking, and which is a common wear item. Actually, it's not bad considering this car is almost 20 years old and it's on the original parts. So I'm gonna replace the air spring, and while I'm at it, I'm gonna replace the rear shocks and go ahead and get started. Just some other quick notes is that the suspension on these cars are on more complicated, so there's could be a lot of things that could cause problems, like the ride height sensor. You have a compressor and solenoid valve and so on, but the air spring is one of those wear item, and another option I guess is to replace it with a more traditional spring and shock, which probably will be more reliable. But I decided to go and keep with the OEM. You can get some aftermarket parts for a lot less expensive also. I got mine from Amazon and on eBay. The air spring I got are OEM. They're a little bit more expensive, but I figure it wasn't that much more. So they were about 180, 190 each. So about 400, a little under 400 for the pair for the air spring. The shocks, the OEM, were a lot more expensive, so I went with a cheaper aftermarket, which look pretty good. We'll see how long they last, but they're easy enough to replace, so I'm not too concerned. And as long as they are decent, hopefully it should last at least a few years. Okay, so you can hear the compressor running, and it's going back up. You can see the stop, or am I pointing right there? And there is a leak on the passenger side. You hear it leaking. Okay, I got the car jacked up, as you can see here, and I have it on jack stand. It's as you can see, the wheel and tire are still touching the ground, so I have the body lifted from the frame and on the jack stand, and I think that should be enough to work on. So I'm removing the air line. I think this one is the driver's side, and this one looks like the passenger side. So this clip just comes out, and then there's these locking plastic that you have to I'm gonna try to use this to push it up, or use a small screwdriver to lift it up so that this can slide out. Okay, got it out. So you can see that plastic, I just inserted a screwdriver to lift it up, and it locks and clips on that round ridge that you see there. So okay, actually next I'm gonna cover this, protect it from dirt. The new air spring came with this cover, so I'm gonna just use it to cover this to protect it. Okay, next is the clip between the frame and this narrow gap. You can see it right there with that metal clip with the circle in the middle, with the hole in the middle. Yeah, right there. And then there's a clip that the hose clips into. I need to slide it off. There's the clip way in the back. You could barely see it. It slides to my right, and then yeah, it just clips the hose in. So I got this long angled needle nose plier that looks like it's going to work nicely for removing that clip. But there are other ways to do it, but you do need something skinny and long to reach. So you could see this plier. I hope you could see it. Oops, it's hard to hold this camera, but you see it right there. I'm holding it, so I'm going to slide it off. It's just it's a little tight, but I'm going to have to move this camera. It's in my way. Got the clip off. Let me slide this off here. There it is, right there. It is right there. So the clip's removed. I unclipped the hose, the airline. The airline is still attached up there. There's not much room to work with, so I'm gonna remove it with the hose and then undo it. So I'm gonna push this down. It should just come down, and just gotta watch out this air hose. This should just lift up, which I just did, as you can see here, and then slowly guide the hose, and that's pretty much it. Just gotta be careful not to damage that hose. Okay, I think I got it. It was just getting caught with the hose, so let's see. You can see the hose here, and there it is. And there we go. Got it out. Okay, so here's the old one. There's that cap that came with the new one that I used to cover it. There's the clip. And let me check the hose. And so I'm going to undo this clip and slide in the new one. And that's where the metal clip slides into. And let's check the condition on this one. This one isn't too bad, actually. It's the oh yeah, you can see a little bit of the cracking there. That's where it's leaking slowly, and it is intermittent. Oh, there it goes. So see a lot more cracking, and the passenger side it's even worse because you could actually hear it leaking from there sometimes. But yeah, there you go. This is actually the original, so it's almost 20 years old. So it's and the car has 180,000 miles or so. So I definitely got my money's worth on this. So there's eventually these, of course, will fail and the rubber will harden over time. But now that we have lots of room, so it's much easier to do it this way than try to undo this when it's still in there. So. Hard to do with one hand. There you go. So this is just to clip to hold it there, and so I do need a couple screwdriver to lift up this plastic piece so that it could slide out, because it's locking the that hole. Okay, I'm just gonna do the reverse of the removal. Go ahead and I clean this, and then gonna insert it till it clicks, and then check, and then this clips in this way, like that, just like that. That's it. Okay, with the air spring removed, you can see back there is the ride height sensor. And I've read those are also common failure point. Okay, so I got it in place. I put a little rubber spacer to hold it up there. I suppose you could inflate this, but anyway, something to hold it up so that I can slide the clip in. So I'm gonna try to slide the clip in where you see that black plastic piece there through this narrow gap using the same plier. Okay, so as you can see, I got the clip in. Okay, so the other clip's actually right above this valve assembly, solenoid valve assembly, or whatever you call this thing. It's right up there, right on top of this metal subframe. That's the clip that holds that hose. So I'm doing the passenger side, same idea, the clip. So I'm removing the clip. Hope you can see it, but it's the same clip. Okay, so same idea on this side. So I undid the clip for the air hose line, the plastic line, so that I can remove this and drop it down without pulling on the hose. So, and it's just snapped in through clips. It's pretty straightforward. Clips like that one right there, all along the subframe or the frame. Okay, so I got it dropped, removed. As you can see, it's sideways, and the hose fittings over here. So I'm gonna go ahead and undo it from here, and I did unclip the line and disconnected it on the on that whatever you call that solenoid valve pump thing. Okay, so here's the old passenger side. You don't really see any dry rot, but this is where it's leaking, and under pressure when the rubber stretches, I'm sure you'll see it. Right now it's all, you know, deflated and not stretched, so it's not really visible, but like I showed in the driver's side, I'm sure this side is the same. And so okay, so I got the new passenger side in. As you can see, there's it's kind of hanging there since it's lift up, so I'm going to lower it and then guide that center pin to the hole there. So there's the moment of truth. Hope it doesn't leak. I'm going to turn on the ignition and get the compressor running. So it goes up. I hear the compressor. So it's now the next day, and glad to report that everything's working. That's the end of this video. I'm gonna split up the shock installation on a separate video. This video is long enough. Thanks for watching. If this helps you out, please like and subscribe, especially if you made it all the way to the end. Thanks. Bye.